Has anyone looked around lately at everything? Have you ever stopped to really think about everything that's going on in the world right now? Have you ever stopped to consider why every day there's a new issue? Why every day is there a new hate crime? Why every day are statistics, facts, and real history ignored? Are we really that stupid? Is it really us? Why do you think we have celebrities now that are famous for nothing? Why are people obsessed with them? Why are people so quick to insult and point fingers when really that makes them look dumb? When I grew up, the people who barked the loudest were the dog in the fight that got hurt. The one who was quick to say, fuck you and insult, was the weakest one. Actually, in law, if you're a lawyer, that is the last resort. To make the person feel belittled and stupid in an argument. And that's all we see today. Where are the strong people? At one time, people strove to be strong women. Strong men, black people, were proud of themselves and strong. They didn't want to be seen as a victim, and they worked hard for their rights. They showed themselves as professional. Both women and black and any minority were as professional and as educated as they could be. They worked hard for everything they had today, and in no way did they want a handout. I don't think all women, black people, minorities, gay, trans, just to name some, I don't think they all just want attention and they all just want a handout. But I think a genuine cause was turned into a manufactured, sellable product. And I think people go with it just to get their voice heard. Anyone will do anything for 2 seconds of fame. It's almost like people think that if they get enough attention, maybe people will see their face and they will become the new Kim Kardashian. Maybe people will just think, oh wow, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful, why isn't she on TV? When really that's not how it works. That's how it is portrayed. If it wasn't, then there wouldn't be millions of talented people who were on TV or not otherwise that are still to this day broke. There's even celebrities themselves who don't have any money. The media only shows a certain story, but there are people who think and trust the media. And the media even construes the stories of the true people behind it, but we don't hear about that. You literally now have to dig for the truth, and on your way to the truth you will find many lies that are disguised as a conspiracy like truth just to confuse you. It actually takes some time to do, which is unfortunate because you also need to work to make money. And the ones without a job are usually the ones who are doing a lot of the sorting out. But then they have the conspiracy theorist thing over their head. But the thing is, like they all say, it's a theory. But what if it's not a theory? What if it's true? What if people are turning their heads to something they don't want to believe because they like the pretty life they lead? What if your city really isn't doing that good because that new salmon spot opened up? Right smack dab where the poverty once was. But you don't see it. You only go there to eat and you think, wow, that one restaurant that takes prisoners and teaches them how to cook and gives them a second chance, you see it marketed everywhere. Everywhere. Donate. Do this. Buy this. Look this way. This is the way to be. Just give me your money. You can't even read a damn story without passing through ads. Some people have realized which ones are the ads and which ones have the story. But why do we have to jump over ads to get to the finish line? No longer is it about working hard to get the American dream. People, good people too, are sometimes forced to manipulate and lie because they need money. A college degree doesn't get you much anymore, except a higher podium in social situations. And a piece of paper doesn't seem to get you too far, seeing as many doctors are waiters. Now, this isn't my only experience saying that, but I have seen a few numbers. But that's not exactly where I've been focused. I know that the media is run by the government, and it has been admitted by our government. I know that people are being separated to fear their neighbor, to hate their city. I've looked up the statistics for crime, and I understand police corruption is a problem. But the biggest death for black people is by other black people. The biggest, I guess, racial, cultural hate is against Jews. But those numbers don't add up to what the media says. I think, for example, the Black Lives Matter was a genuine cause, backed by just police injustice and cruelty, but then it turned into so much more. And then because of the attention, the coverage for the cause, people, I guess, just went with it. But the reason it didn't hold up, really, in some ways, is because of the facts. I see now people seem to be desperate for some fame, for some money. I don't like that people are becoming victims to be on TV, to have sympathy. I don't like that celebrities will dress as homeless people and sit on the streets and pretend to be homeless just to see what it's like, to later then talk in front of millions of people just to better feed their narcissism, to talk about themselves. Does no one see this, or is it just me? I see that many religious people are making videos about the death and the devil, and that's just spreading more fear. The best way to control someone is to change their environment and the social norm and to spread fear and hate, so then they divide and paranoid till their world grows smaller and smaller, and they no longer know what to believe because there's so many different theories, and they don't want to lose money or go hungry. I think technology is getting a little out of hand, and not in the tinfoil hat way. I mean, it's changing people. I see young kids all making fun of each other, young girls, angry that they look the way they do when they are absolutely beautiful, because they don't look like Kylie Jenner, because they don't have plastic surgery, and they hate their parents for it. They hate them, but see, they just want you to hate yourself, because that's what sells. An advertisement is supposed to sell legitimate goods that you need. But see, that doesn't sell anything, because you're happy about yourself. If you think you're ugly, you need an unnecessary product. It hits your emotional vulnerabilities. See, Sigmund Freud, the Stanford Project, MKUltra, they learned a lot about people and how they think. If you think about it, in the 90s, or around then when there were terrible graphics, it was easily seen that something was bullshit because it looked bad. Now anything with a pretty bow, nice, graphics, looks legitimate. It's trustworthy. It works. Even something as ridiculous as Scientology. Happiness peaked in the 1950s, but ads decided to say you're not happy until ... Ads attack your emotional vulnerabilities. There's so many toothpaste that do so many things, when really you just need to brush your teeth. There's so many things to make you better, almost harmful to your health. But boy, do you need it, because you're 130 pounds, and that's gotta be overweight. Doesn't matter if you're healthy. Let's make you sick. Have you noticed that, by the way? That our technology is so good, and we We have so much health options, but people seem to be getting sick. Sicknesses that never used to be this high. I guess corporate propaganda and advertisement exist only to make money. There's so many people who grab the hands of the lower class and their problems, plaster it on their bottles and food, and say, "We support you. We support breast cancer." And we're a t-shirt company. Buy our t-shirts. We give $2 sometimes. And we believe them. We don't care. We just want to know we're doing good. We couldn't point out where Darfur was on the map, but we sure loved wearing those shirts. People on Facebook will do push-ups, a video of themselves doing push-ups to raise awareness for suicide and veterans. I don't know how that raises any awareness. I think it's an excuse to feed the need to be on a video camera. People don't only care about themselves and their needs. Listen to me and my personal problem. It's to the point where it's confusing people. I saw a video where a girl was dressed like a girl, but she identifies as a boy. And she says, I guess cis are hateful because they don't recognize that she's a boy. When she dresses like a girl, but all that is just clothing. I understand she believes that way, and that is fine. But you cannot expect other people to see the world like you do. We all see things differently, although we may see the same thing. When someone looks at an elephant, they might think of strength. Another person may just think of an elephant. Another person might think of wrinkles. Another person might think of the zoo. We all see things in a completely different way. We can also change the way other people see things. But it doesn't seem like too many people see that their big rush to get money is not helping anything. Making up things, photoshopping pictures just for your political gain is spreading hate and anger, and you don't know what that will inspire in someone. You have the intention for someone just to vote for a particular candidate. But instead that person sees that and it makes them want to kill their neighbor. But you don't care. You don't care about that neighbor who dies or that person that goes to jail. You just care if they vote for that particular politician. I think I might make other videos, but I just haven't had much sorted out. And the biggest, I guess, hurdle is for me to keep an open mind. Sometimes I'll come across something that doesn't go along my direction, and I'll have to force myself to continue in that one if it is the truth. I think we live in a time right now where nobody does that, meaning they don't continue with the truth. They exit out of the screen and look up what they want to see. If you try it sometime to look for a lie, you will find it to be true, but it isn't. I guess it's scary to me, and it's scary how people will take advantage of something like that. I don't know why people think that if someone had invented something years ago, maybe decades, that it wouldn't be used today. If someone found out how to manipulate the world and get money, you think they're good? We know that power changes people if you look into the Stanford Prison Project. It absolutely changes them. You think a conscience will wave over them? What if people were raised to not have a conscience? For the sole purpose that that would be the perfect individual to run something. Because emotions and conscience are what stops corruption. I just wish people would open their eyes and at least look for a truth. It doesn't have to be mine. But at least look. At least try. There's so many different faces, wearing so many different disguises. And whether or not the Bible is true, it is a story. And what is so hard to believe? That it's a story. I mean, we throw it away when that's where the Bible, the Torah, any religion, that's where morals are taught. That's where good and evil is pretty kind of defined. Whether or not it's true isn't the point. The point is it teaches about how, for example, the devil will put on a face to manipulate you. I mean, the snake scoffed at Eve when she said she couldn't eat the apple. He scoffed and said, "You can eat the apple, you won't die." I'm not a Christian. And as soon as you bring up anything about religion, people turn it off because they like to be an atheist. Or they like to not believe in anything. I like to believe in the truth. And I like to know what it is. And I don't hold with me this want, this need for everything to go my way. I just want to know why and how and what. For what reason? We know there is no evidence of Jesus in society. And we know there are tons of religions that follow the same story. But maybe it was a story told to people to repeat, to learn things. Maybe it's not so much real, but what can be real, or what's real about society, a psychological outlook on life, a guidebook, a Tony Robbins biblical guide. It doesn't have to be some floaty God, some Jesus Christ, some Buddha. Why can't we open our minds? Why do we think we know all the answers after one documentary? Why can't we look for ourselves and continue to learn? If you've spent 12 years on this planet, why are you spreading so many opinions like you say you're 42? That confuses people, and you don't know if you're right or wrong yet. I don't know if I'm right or wrong yet, but I do know what I've seen, and I do know what I see today, and I do know 1 and 1 most definitely adds 2. But is there going to be a day when 2 plus 2, we're going to be forced to see 5?